My life with James had always been a carefully polished performance. We lived in a penthouse with floor-to-ceiling windows, kept our reputations immaculate, and curated every detail of our public image. We were the couple people pointed to and said, "They have everything." Perfection wasn't just our standard, it was our identity. And when we finally decided to have a child at 35, it wasn't out of love or longing. It was to complete the aesthetic, the final brush stroke on our flawless life. But when David, our first child, arrived, perfection shattered. He wasn't sick or physically damaged. He was simply disappointing. His features were heavy and unbalanced, his eyes small and jittery. He cried incessantly, flinched at loud sounds, and stumbled over his own feet. Even strangers softened their expressions with that quiet, aching pity reserved for the hopelessly plain. James tried to hide his disappointment, but I saw it every time he looked away. And I dealt with the problem. One freezing Tuesday morning, I bundled David into the car for what I pretended was a comforting drive to calm his fussiness. We ended up at Bainbridge Dam, a massive concrete giant looming above a gorge of jagged rocks and roaring wind. The moment was brutally short. I threw David inside the dam. Within a twist, a scream swallowed by the canyon. David is gone. The drive home was longer than the act itself. James fell apart. He crumbled in a way I didn't expect, pacing the penthouse like a ghost for days. I, meanwhile, perfected my grief with quiet tears. Empty eyes, the slow, hollow movements of a devastated mother. Not because I missed David, but because I mourned the aesthetic imbalance he introduced to our lives. Then, a year later, everything corrected itself. Lily was born. From the moment she opened her eyes, she was flawless. She had delicate features, soft curls, a laugh that chimed like tiny bells. She posed naturally in photographs, charmed everyone she met, and existed with an effortless beauty David never had. James healed. Our life returned to its perfect composition, and David faded into the background of my mind, like a mistake erased from the canvas. Until Lily's 5th birthday, we were walking along a quiet river trail, enjoying a breezy afternoon. The path eventually led us onto a concrete footbridge, simple and unremarkable, hovering over a slow-moving river. Not nearly as high as Bainbridge Dam, but eerily familiar in its cold, gray stillness. Halfway across, Lily stopped. She didn't look frightened or distracted. She simply stared up at me with an intensity I had never seen in her. Then she stepped forward and hugged me. Not a sweet, gentle hug, but instead something desperate, gripping, almost painful. Her small fingers clutched my coat like she was holding on for her life. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" I asked softly, stroking her hair. Her voice came out small and quivering. "I'm scared, Mommy. I love you. I've always loved you." That phrasing made my stomach twist. "I've always loved you." Lily had only existed for 5 years. I tried to brush it off with a shaky laugh. "Oh, honey, I love you too. But what are you scared of right now?" She pulled back, slowly, and looked at me. Her expression changed. Her perfect, bright eyes went dull and nervous with confused. The exact hollow look David wore every time he sensed he wasn't enough. Then came the voice. Slow, deep, heavy with a grief no 5-year-old could ever hold. "I'm afraid you'll drop me off this bridge. Again." The world around us went silent. Even the river seemed to stop moving. And for the first time in years, I felt genuinely afraid. Since then I kept asking if I'm a good parent.